I was absolutely not ready for this, but I'm going live anyway because why? Because I don't care. I'm turning down the music so I can legitimately say, hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Nerd On Update, our weekly show in which we talk about the nerdy news that's exciting to us, sad to us, mad to us, other add to us. And we also answer questions from you, the people. But the real start of the show is we just kind of sit and chat. That's the real.
We catch up. It's tea time.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't have my tea.
Yeah, we just kind of chill.
You can use the theater of the mind and imagine it.
Yes.
Okay, I think I got some.
How you doing, Amy?
Do you know what? Not too bad. Our Patreons, aka T-Dog, who showed up to our green room before we started today, in our Discord.
Oh, wait, I have that sound effect.
We have the wah, and I don't have to do it. Yeah. I was early, but over there, just, cracking some Mystery Booster 2 packs.
Were you in there cracking packs?
Yeah, I was before anybody showed up because nobody showed up.
Early access to content never seen. No, I'm just kidding.
Exactly. But I pulled like a $60 card, so my night just literally went from 0 to 60. No pun intended.
Hell yeah.
Hi, but yeah, what? I want to throw it to Josh real quick, and ask how you doing. What's up, my friend?
I am here. No, just kidding. We were doing that before the show starts. I'm good. I have had some editing work, which is a nice switch up. It's kind of weird. I edit this podcast for a rabbi here in LA. It's very interesting.
Wow.
It's very
really?
Yeah, it's very interesting. They pay me my rate. I love it. And it's very interesting conversations. So that's kind of that's a plus. I'm also like super good because I got this today in the mail. It's my medieval spawn that I ordered on Kickstarter like a year and a half ago, I think, or something. It might have been last year. I don't know. Huh?
I gulped really loud when I was like, "Is that medieval spawn?"
Medieval spawn is my favorite iteration of spawn, and so I'm like, I wore the white pants. Like this is like, I'm so excited about this. Yeah. Otherwise, that's it. Things are good. I'm trying to say that more often. Things are good. I'm doing okay.
Quick shout out to T-Dog and Monarch Choir.
What's up?
I'm assuming that's right. Monarch Choir or Monarch Choir?
Monarch
Choir. Sometimes pronunciations escape me.
Words are hard.
And also all the other people who are just lurking around. I see all the viewers up there.
Sup, lurking.
Apparently the mix is a little weird, says T-Dog, and Amy's like loud as shit, and me and Josh are quiet as hell, which it doesn't surprise me. It actually surprised me. I'm apparently one of the quietest streamers in the world, and I'm like, that's fucking insane.
Here's the thing. In my headphones, in my mix, you guys are completely level and fine. So
should I talk like this?
I wish you wouldn't.
We should just. I'm just gonna victim blame the viewer. T-Dog, get your shit together. No, we'll be working on that. Yeah. Last week we didn't do an update. Corey did some Magic the Gathering. I was out of town in Palm Springs shooting a social media behind the scenes stuff for a magazine fashion company with for 2 days with some models, and so the Tuesday was the trip. There was like 2.5 hour drive, and so they're like, oh, arrive on the day, and then the next day is 7 a.m. call times, and then this is not the first update of the year, T-Dog. You missed it. You fucking I'm kidding. No, you're probably doing something cool, like probably kicking some ass at some of your league games, or shredding up in them skiing slopes like I know you do, T-Dog, because you live in a good life. I hope your neck is feeling better.
All the hype.
The thing is, you gotta balance the shit talk with the praise.
Yeah.
You gotta, it's
So
it's
shitty
it's how
praise? That's how we
it's how you
balance?
get
I
it's
fucking
how
love you
you
piece of shit.
Yep, there
it's
we
how you
go.
get away
Shitty
with it.
praise, baby. That's
It's
exactly
how you
it.
get away with it. And then yeah, so we were in Palm Springs, and then I never been to Palm Springs, don't even know what it's like, and apparently people were like, it's Florida for California, and I'm like, oh shit, it is. A lot of gay
Branding.
folks, a lot of old folks, and a lot of desert. And I'm like, that's what's up. We're here
Hell
to
yeah.
party and drink.
Hell yeah.
I didn't do any of that. I end up hanging
weren't.
out with the guy who's got kids, who's the guy who brought me on, and he's like, I want to go watch a movie. I'm like, guess we're watching a movie, baby. I guess we went to go watch a movie.
Hell yeah.
Hell
yeah.
So that's that. And then what's been going on this week? My side hustle gig work. We were setting up a stage for a show starting up, and it's fucking crazy because they're like working out of the stage for 2 weeks to shoot like 4 episodes every day. And
Jesus.
I'm not gonna say what show it is until it airs, or at least off air. But it's not those kind of shows, Josh. And when I explain it, you're like, oh, those are very simple, and it's very cool that they have that production schedule.
Mm.
But we'll see how it turns out, because I'm just like, on this network with this talent, I don't know. This gimmick, it's weird, but I'm like, man, that is a really cool idea, and it's a really cool show, and it's a really cool set. But I'm like, hopefully you land it, but it's also like, who goes to this network for this kind of thing? But anyways, which means setting up a stage and engineering and technical directing shit is just fucking insane, because it's like 8,000 cameras being linked into a computer, and then making bajillion SDI cables go out, and
Hell yeah.
it's a nightmare. It's just a nightmare. But anyways, other than that, it doesn't matter about me. How's everyone in the chat? How are you guys doing? What?
I said you matter to me.
Oh,
you
Simple
matter.
and plain.
You're the
and not
one.
much to ask for somebody.
You matter to me.
You're the one person. Yeah.
Monarch says February 13th, Galentine's Day is coming up, y'all. Get your personalized waffles ready.
Heck yes,
I
baby.
don't know what that means.
I feel like that's a very specific reference. And I am.
Or just like IHOP waffles.
Why would you want IHOP waffles? Like,
I don't know.
Wait, do people actually?
Am I
go
a
out
gal?
and get IHOP? You could be.
How am I supposed to know? I maybe sometimes there are some traditions that I should be excluded from, and I understand.
It could also be Palentine's.
It could be, but it's not. We called it Galentine's just
Jesus
now.
Christ.
So I'm like, you know what? Maybe I'm not supposed to know. Maybe no boys allowed. And I'm like, all right, I get it.
Dearest Monarch, because Monarch Choir is your father. Might you give us more explanation as to why we should have our personalized waffles ready to ensure Tom has all the correct information necessary to participate on the 13th? We'd really appreciate it. Drop that in the chat.
Waffle? Where's the Belgian
Waffles need to be crispy. That's it. That's
100%.
They have to be crispy.
100%.
Fucking hate
Hmm.
soft waffles.
Interesting.
Oh,
The only
that sounds
time I
like a
would-
band name. Soft waffles.
We're getting real
good at that.
sexy with the talk soon. Because to me,
Have you seen
I
my
know
soft
of one
waffle?
waffle, and it's not the good one.
Nope, we do not speak of the
We don't
no.
talk about that.
Mm-mm,
It's kind of
not
like,
that
and
waffle.
I hate now. I actually hate now that Arby's has become conflated with that, and I'm like, God damn it! Like, because it's like, is nothing sacred? Is nothing
No.
sacred?
No.
Nothing was
Um,
ever sacred.
Anything can be turned
I
into
like-
euphemism that makes you throw up.
I
100%.
like the dirty talk. I'm all down for dirty talk, but
Yeah.
I'm like, come on, man. It used to be a flour. Now it's roast beef. Like, what the fuck? Come on, man. You gotta put some respect on that boy. Leslie Nope. Oh, so Leslie Nope did a waffle thing. The reference went over my head. You out nerded me completely. Out nerded me completely. This is a random thing. Has anyone watched anything new recently, like a movie or a show? Or
I've been watching
Sakamoto
Apple Cider
Days.
Vinegar on Netflix, and it's
Ooh.
what the hell is that?
it's about this health influencer that lied, and
Nice.
What?
That's crazy.
it's
I've never
Why
heard
would they
of that.
do that?
It's a dramatization of that, and it's just like it makes me feel so like we started getting into the first episode, and like, have you seen Baby Reindeer?
Nope.
Okay.
It was that or fucking what's the piece of shit Ripley show, and we watched Ripley and I was like, I fucking regret this.
Well, it's uncomfortable. It's a really good show. It's really uncomfortable. But this show, I was like, we get into the first episode and I paused and I was like, I'm like really uncomfortable right now, because as somebody who has dealt with narcissistic, manipulative people in my life that just like, oh my gosh, the lengths of lie, and then people falling for it, and you're like, oh my God, stop it, stop it, stop it, please stop doing it, please stop doing it. Yeah, that's it. It's the end of story.
Amy,
cool story, bro.
I'm caught up until Saturday for Sakamoto Days, which is on Netflix, which is the assassin who fell in love and now's a dad with a kind of chunky body, runs a convenience store, and has hitmen coming out for him. And it's adorable. Right now, it's only got 5 episodes out. It's on a weekly release. It's cute, nice and easy, nice and fast.
Oh yeah.
so going back real quick to Josh, how many episodes are there in Apple Cider Vinegar?
Yeah, there's only 6. It's like a mini series.
And you
we're
watched it
on
all?
like episode like 3 or something like that.
So good, a little uncomfortable, triggering for people.
It's very triggering. I also watched a movie that if you're into foreign movies, there's a French movie called The Count of Monte Cristo. It's a new one
with Jim Caviezel.
No, it is not that. That's
I was
from
like,
2002.
there's a new one?
There's a new one that's made by some French filmmakers, and it's really good. They've been like doing all of Alexander Dumas, all of his books, and they're really good movies. But this one was really good. It's beautiful, and it was up to be considered for the Oscars at least. Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Is it Dumas or is it Dumas?
I think it's Dumas.
Or is it dumbass?
He's got an S. He's got an S on the end of it.
Anyway.
Or is it dumb ass?
Dumbass.
Oh.
Alexander Dumbass. What about you, Tom?
So wait, hold on. Sakamoto Days, it's still releasing, and there's only one season.
Yeah, so far.
Just recapping for the people listening. What the fuck? I'm watching some Dr. Stone. I'm watching some Uzumaki. I watched Companion recently. I'm watching this one show on Amazon Prime. It's with Rosa Salazar, and it's all rotoscopy animation. And with the boy from Nobody and Better Call Saul's her dad. You know what I'm talking about? Not that guy, that homie, that guy. Anyways, it's good. I like that show. It's
the guy with the hair.
It's and I'm also watching the new season of Invincible.
I need to catch up.
What's the ding ass show that she's in? Undone. The show she's in that Rosa Salazar is called Undone. I really like it. It's actually probably like it's actually like so good that like sometimes it can be kind of a lot, because it's about a woman who survives a car accident, and then after that car accident we kind of venture into her life and figure out that she doesn't know who her father is while her younger sister is getting married. So kind of like she feels like her life is kind of like falling apart in a weird way, and she's kind of in a relationship she doesn't want to be in anymore. And then after that car accident, she starts seeing her dad when no one else can, and she realizes or finds out that she can actually travel through time and space. And her dad can travel through time and space, and that's the only way they communicate is through time and space. Well, everyone thinks she's starting to go crazy. She's gaining a lot of the closure she never got from her father, and then also trying to solve the murder of her father. So it's crazy. I'm seeing Monoquire talk about some Severance. Don't you worry, we'll talk about that in like 4 years. Because season 2 is coming out, or is out. Season 2 is out, and I saw Adam Scott walking up the Lake Hollywood maybe a month ago, and
he's kind of everywhere.
Relevant.
And I saw him at the Trader Joe's. I won't say exactly where because I don't want him to be completely doxxed. But I remember seeing him, and I was walking towards the bread aisle. He turns to me, tank top, short shorts, and then he's just like bearded up. He looks at me. I look at him, and I'm just like, and he just like And he just walks off because I was just
There
like,
you go.
I know you. And he's like,
Just stare at him, just
Would-
like really awkwardly.
they're humans just like us, and they
False.
take painful poops, you know. So like, just leave him
Ew.
alone. Just leave him alone. That's not the time and place.
Let
Do you
them have their
painfully
fiber.
poop, Tom? Do we need to have another conversation?
If you never ate enough spicy food, if you ever just inhaled the food and not chewed it enough, if you ever
That's
had
what they're
bad
saying.
guacamole, don't lie to me. You've experienced all that shit once in your
Who's
life.
having bad guac?
Anytime
Sometimes someone leaves it out for too long, and then I'm
Who
just like,
actively
I don't.
chooses that bad guac though? Like, are you actively choosing
Tom.
that
No,
bad
no,
guac?
it's a good guac, but it stays out too long. Like it oxidizes and turns brown, and
Yeah.
you're like,
it's basically
I
just
could eat that,
fermented
whatever.
at this point.
Yeah, it's aged. It's next to the nice
aged. You're
cotija
making
tea.
it sound very fancy. Would you like some of my aged guacamole?
I think you could actually make an entire like segment about that and start a business, and people would believe you.
Aged.
I would like to
Our
see that aged
artisanal
guacamole.
Artisanal
His
aged
name is
guacamole.
Grogu.
It is brown for a reason.
We want to extract the midi-chlorians.
Anytime I'm driving on the freeway and I see somebody like speeding, I always go, they're about to poop their pants. They got to poop.
Oh, yeah.
It's the only logical reason I have for anybody speeding. I'm like,
Yeah.
they're going to shit their pants. I feel really bad for
And
them.
also, it's like
having a baby.
It's also a good way to like not get road rage. Like if you get pissy because someone's being a complete dick, you're like, man, they really got to shit. They really got to shit.
I feel you, bro.
And then or ooh, the baby's coming. The baby's coming. It's like, hey man.
They are gonna poop their panties.
So like, yeah, makes sense. Shall we get into some news?
Let's do it.
We shall.
Let's
Yay,
do it.
verily?
Who wants to go first?
I can go if you'd like.
Go ahead.
Rochambeau.
Oh, you know what? Ladies first.
Yeah,
What
ladies
happened to
first.
civility?
Amy, you
Well,
get it.
also
Go
want
it.
to be
Do it.
Much like the movie, I am the woman on top in this setup. So
You are actually. So you get to go first. Get it.
yay for me. Yay for me. So I have a one thing and a two thing, and I completely blanked on my second thing, but I remember my first thing. Oh, so I'll start with the smaller one. So Thunderbolts with the asterisk. It's coming out, right? We've got Captain America coming out this week. Then we got Thunderbolts coming out. Everybody's been like, huh, what is that asterisk about, y'all? Like, why you
We all know.
what is it, Tom? Tom, what is it?
Dark Avengers. Come on, man.
No.
Come on, man.
No. So
Come on, man.
apparently,
Come on, man.
so
Come on,
apparently, I would love it to be dark. Come on, I would love it to be Dark Avengers. Like, I would love to just be able to say that. But apparently, Japan, of course, got their first full-size poster, and on the bottom of that sucker, the asterisk literally says, and I have to zoom in because I have it on here and I forgot what it said. It says that the Avengers are not available. So it's asterisk Avengers not
Oh
available.
my gosh.
Yeah. So we're just like, okay, that's what's happening now. Like this is what we get. That's great.
Yeah.
Not really news, but it's just one of those like you put an asterisk just to remind us that the Avengers weren't there. Cool.
I'm gonna say it this way.
Tell me.
Tom has opinions.
Bullshit. Bullshit. Only because I'm gonna say it this way. Only because, like, we know things. We know the industry and way it works. Like sometimes people put out some bogus like news leaks like that shit, and I'm like, that's such a lie. That's such a bull face. Don't lie to my face this way. I'm telling you, it's a lie.
See, but that's the thing, that this was on one of their posters that they actually released and not like online released. So I don't know. I'm just excited because it's the Thunderbolts, i.e., like it's random people from Marvel that deserve an opportunity to come out and just be like, suck it. I don't really have superpowers, but I kind of do, and I'm gonna do my thing.
Suck
Just like
it.
that. just like that. But
in.
the other thing, and I'm down to ride. But the other thing that I did have to bring into kind of random news today, and I wanted to talk about it because it might be changing our viewing experience at the movies as we know it, which is super weird for me to be able to say, and not in maybe the best way.
Oh, that's a big put.
So on January 21st, there's a senator apparently in Connecticut. His name is Martin Looney. Yes, like Looney Tunes
love it.
Looney. He
Get it.
introduced a bill to force movie theaters to list the actual start times of the movies and allowing them to entirely skip the commercial intro. So we all know 20, 30 minutes, right? We got 20 to 30 minutes of previews. Yes,
I
Tom.
love
I
previews.
so here's the thing. There's
What a
people that are for this,
baby.
there's people that are against this.
What a
They're like, "Listen,
baby.
I wanna know exactly how long the movie is actually gonna be so that I can just show up immediately."
What a
Problem that we're
cuck.
seeing yeah,
I got
let
a
me
hand up. Me and John,
let
we're gonna
I
crosstalk this
know,
real
I
quick.
know, but I wanna finish so let me finish my spiel, and then y'all can hit it. Okay, so, he's saying this, there are people that are for it and against it, of course, because there's people that are like, I just want to know when to show up. I don't care about the ads. I don't care about any of the advertising. Screw you. But there are other people, independent movie houses as the like, that use that advertising money to keep concessions, to keep their lights on because they're showing those
The
previews.
local
And if this
dentist.
they want to tell you you can have your birthday party at the movie theater. But they're now worried that if that advertising, because they're forced to disclose how long these ads are
my
going to be,
God.
they'll start pulling it all together, which means that it's going to do exactly like it does when a press screening. The movie starts automatically. If you had to pee, you're out of time. All right. And go.
I agree with Josh. Stop being a fucking baby, okay? Just
Everybody has an
fucking
opinion about everything, and none of them,
No.
some of them aren't oh my God.
But also just like fucking grow up. Just like get to the movie theater whenever the fuck you want to get there. Suffer the consequences. You set up some time to watch it. What are you gonna fucking do? Where are you gonna go? Where do you gotta go? Don't go to the movies then. Just fucking don't go.
Don't go
If
to
you
the
have to, like,
movies, you cuck.
it's like, oh my god, I need to have exactly 23 minutes, or else I'm not gonna make it to the fucking Walgreens back on the way home to get my fucking butt plug pills. I don't know.
There it
Fucking
is.
Jesus Christ. Nothing
Yeah.
wrong with
Do you
that.
need those
I'm not gonna
pills?
yuck anyone's
Word.
yum. If you want to stick shit up your ass, like that's good for you. That's that's
Don't
a
yuck their
spot
yum.
for many people. But it's like,
Exactly.
to me, okay.
This
I'm
is
gonna say
what
it
we're
this way.
spending our time on. That's what you.
I
yeah?
do the Candyman. Okay, so I, as a child, I loved going to the theaters fucking 40 minutes before the goddamn movie started, because you'd hear goddamn No Doubt sing Don't Speak multiple fucking times. You'd hear fucking Annie Lennox music, and then a fucking trailer would start playing. And the trailers were like dope as shit. Like, y'all missing out. Y'all don't realize how good trailers could be. It's because all the fucking idiots making trailers now suck complete ass. Not like who edit it and shit like that, but like design the trailer and be like, let's just in a world, and then like do some fucking vague, like line, and then some bullshit shot that we don't give a fuck about, and then CGI shot, plot spoiler, CGI shot, and the very end
I hate
being
trailers
like,
that don't
blah,
tell
blah,
you
blah.
anything about the movie, and you're like, but what is it about?
Versus like this, one of the greatest two. I'll give you two right now. Old lady, New York. It's raining. Fucking kids get dropped off at the Museum of Natural History. Old lady says the Tyrannosaurus Rex was the largest animal to ever walk the face of the earth. And then fucking boom, the world starts shaking, and then a fucking giant Godzilla foot stomps on the T-Rex, and it says May 1999. And you're like, that shit is hit. That shit hits. That's the shitty Godzilla movie. That's the shitty one
with the weird tail.
But I like it. I like that. Or fucking, you see these guys run to a bank. It's like afternoon, 4:00. Everyone's sweating. They have guns. They're like, everyone on the ground. They get the guns. They get the car. They drive up to some place and they get on the helipad. They're flying around. The police are flying around. There's New York City. Then the sun's blasting in their face. Then all of a sudden they get stuck in between the two towers. And you're like, what the fuck is this? And it's a giant spider web. And you're like, is this fucking Mothra or some shit? And then fucking you just see in the reflection of the eye, it's Spider-Man. You're like, oh my God, that's some badass shit. It was Tobey Maguire's first teaser trailer for Spider-Man. You rush to the theaters because like, yo, we can't miss the fucking trailers for this shit. It's like Christopher Nolan does that shit where it's like, cool, at the head of this movie, you'll get a special preview of that movie. Or it's like, cool, this is a new Disney movie. They're going to show the Disney trailers for new things I want to see. But all that being said, in the argument of it all, bitch, I abuse the shit out of the fact, I'm like, cool, I got an 8:30 movie. I'm going to leave my house at 8:30. And I'm going to get there at like 8:50, and I'm gonna walk in, sit my ass right down right when the movie starts. I'm like, cool, I can calculate my own time. Like, if you don't know your local theater and how long those commercials last, then you don't go enough. That's just you.
You need to put those numbers up.
But also just like, if like this is why streaming wars sucked, because like they took out all the ads, and then all of a sudden all the companies couldn't do more than 2 seasons, 3 seasons of a TV show because they couldn't co-opt advertisement. And like advertisements, like cool, if a TV series, like one episode costs $1 million, $13 million of those dollars would have been paid for already, like just by putting Coca-Cola commercials or Colgate ads and some shit. And now if you want to do that shit in the movie theaters where trailers are gone, you're going to be destroying like that whole ecosystem too. We lost the DVDs and the physical media. If you take away the trailers, like you're pretty much making it like cool. It's only going to be fucking giant Marvel movies. And I'm not saying Marvel movies are bad, but it's like, you want more of that shit, or do you want some like diversity in that bunch? Because you can be like actually excited to go see the Marvel movie. Like
it's the society of no fun that come out and go, so I was thinking that maybe you need to just tell me when the movie actually starts so I can be an asshole and just show up then. I was like, okay.
Well, see, and I think we are also part of those wonderful moviegoers who literally were like, we're gonna do the dumb, like, guess what scene this is from what movie, like when you showed up early. Or like we knew we could take our
oh
time
yeah,
and
the
go,
Maria Menounos.
yeah, and
the pointiest shoulders of all time.
and now she has Heel Squad.
And,
Like,
and she
she's got
says jokes and she laughs at her own joke. Go you.
Yeah, and then you've got like random interviews with celebrities, or like
It's a culture.
if you ended up being in one of the dollar cinemas where like they would keep the lights down until just the preview started, and then you would hear the same. It was like, that was, No Doubt, or that was Creed.
Oh,
Like,
yes.
you would just live in that, and you could actually have conversations with the people next to you, and it wasn't like super sketch. And then you also knew there was better. I was also better etiquette. But listen, I am for
Don't
I
even
am
get me started
for
on etiquette.
previews. I am for previews. I like being able to know my time, like the time frame. If I've seen a trailer already, I can be like, okay, I can like do whatever I need to do. I can double check and make sure my candy hasn't fallen between the seats. Like, the man's name is Looney, and I don't think it's an accident that he's asking for this. But that was my news because it was a great talking point, and
is a good
I
talking
think
point.
it's dumb.
That is
Hell
good.
yeah. Hell yeah.
Um,
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
Josh?
I got news, everybody. I got strike news. Well, I'm going to start with one quick news. Jurassic World Rebirth. I'm easy. I am an easy child that loves dinosaurs, and Jurassic Park is a franchise that I don't care if it's good. It has dinosaurs. I'm there. I'm here. I'm here to watch it. And that was a fun trailer. It was exciting.
Old words for a man that's never watched The Land of the Lost.
Which one?
What are you talking
Any of them. They all have fucked up dinosaurs.
Hey, they don't have to be.
Have you seen
fucked up.
Dinosaurs? The old show?
The
the
little
baby gotta
dudes?
love me. I was just talking with a friend about that,
Yes.
and we were like, that had a really horrible ending. Like,
Yeah, and the
Like-
mama. Ooh, that
oh
ending though.
my. Okay.
Bold words from someone who loves watching Littlefoot's mom die all the time.
No, that's
Wow.
It's
rude.
dinosaurs, baby.
Wow. If you can't say anything nice, don't say anything at all.
I'm gonna get you a tree star.
Okay,
so good.
so I got some strike news, some good strike news, a little bit of, it's actually kind of like a yin and a yang. Last week, SAG-AFTRA members we had a meeting, and it was a strike update meeting, and it was really important. I'm really sad that, not sad, I wish more people would go to these meetings because they're really important. I think a lot of people assume that it doesn't have anything to do with them, and so they just zone out and they forget about it, and that's not feasible for this particular strike. Basically, what's on the table, they let us know, and I'm allowed to talk about this. They basically want the contract to reflect that anything after the ratification date is protected from AI, and no digital replicas can be made, blah, blah, blah. But anything before, anything, any game that you worked on, any content that you posted online, anything that's posted online about you, they want to be able to scrub that shit and get a digital replica and do whatever the hell they want to with that. And there's other things, transparency, being able to know what a digital replica is being used on, what the lines were, how many lines were spoken, so that there is compensation and consent, because digital replicas, we don't want to be in a place where, you all know me, you know that I'm not going to be, I don't want my character, I can play some I can play a villain. I can play some evil shit. But I want to know that there's an evil character out there and give my consent or not about that character. So that's what is on the table. They're kind of the sticking points. There's been some misinformation that a lot of people think that this strike is just about movement performers, and it's not. Movement performers, PCAP performers, they have always been protected by the contract. People think that it was added last minute, and it was not. They've always been. Anybody that works on a video game contract can be covered by the IMA. Anyway, there is good news. There's lots of really great good news. Over 150 games have signed the interim contract, which is incredible.
Is that like recently?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's as of like last week. I think it's actually 159, but I don't want to quote. And then, so it's almost actually 160.
Did you guys hear Josh did like over 400 games?
Only. Well, here's some context. The last video game strike in 2016 went almost a year. It was very close to a year, and they didn't get half of the amount of games that has signed so far. And there's more cool news. The amount of earnings that are coming from games that have signed the interim has surpassed games that do not sign the side letter 6 games, the games that are unsafe, that if you take it, you are basically, for lack of a better phrasing, feeding the machine. It's very, very, very dangerous to work a side letter 6 game. And to explain what a side letter is, it's like an addendum to a contract. And that side letter says that games that started production before a strike are allowed to keep continuing. It's basically it's really a silly thing that was put in the contract by a person, I don't remember their name, and it's evil. It is an evil addendum that shouldn't exist. Let's see what else. There's new agreements that are either available now or will be soon. We have. There's been the interim agreement. We've talked about that. There's the new localization agreement. There's tiered budgets. So if they don't always have to be a AAA multi-million-dollar company. There's tiered budgets. There's also going to be student developers. There are going to be agreements for that. There's also game jam agreements that will be rolling out. So it's really cool. But yeah, so it's. Personally, I mean, it's easy to. I've gotten to talk to a lot of people over the past week since that meeting, and unfortunately, it's very, very easy to be sad. We're at 7 months, like just over the past week or something. We went into the 7-month mark, and it's scary and it's hard. It's hard for a lot of people, but we got to keep the pressure because we're winning. We are winning. It just, strikes are hard, man. Strikes are hard. Yeah. They're hard but we're winning. And it's not just us. The whole world is, I talked about the French strike that goes on Thursday, actually. The whole world is like, this does not work anymore. Just like the movie business, the big studio game does not work anymore. That system does not work anymore. So, yeah. Good stuff. Keep going.
Yeah. Keep going.
Pressure. Keep that pressure.
Pressure.
So with my news, here's some big studio. No.
Yeah.
I know your news, and I'm excited about it.
News. It depends how it's all handled, because fucking it could just be garbage. Guess what, y'all?
What?
The series that I think few people asked for. No, a lot of people asked for. Several years ago.
Firefly?
And then they stopped asking.
Yes! Yes!
What?
Yes!
We both said Firefly almost at the same exact time.
Yes, baby.
And then they stopped asking. And then I don't know whether
we
it's like...
still started asking, and then we got comic books, but we're still asking because, hello, we're not dumb.
And then here you go. It happened. Guess
we're getting
what?
Firefly.
No, we're going back to Sunnyvale, y'all. Y'all know what Sunnyvale is? It's Sunnyvale High. It is the Hellmouth in the library where Giles is at. And Xander and his goofy ass and Seth Green's werewolf ass
Seth MacFarlane
But no,
is
it's Buffy the
wonderful.
Vampire Slayer sequel series with Chloe Zhao to kind
I'm
of
really
direct.
excited about that piece of it.
Yeah,
I'm kind of like, she's
that
I
perked me
I
up.
don't know how that works. I haven't seen Nomadland. All the people who hated Eternals, whatever.
She
All the
did a
people who don't
great
like
job. People
sex in
just
Marvel
don't
movies, whatever.
understand Kirby. Like that's I'm sorry.
I
That's
mean,
my soapbox.
to me it's more of like, look, you don't have to like everything, that's fine. Like, I don't like a lot of things, but to go about online and parade hatred towards the thing is just like a
I don't
little
understand
it's
people.
another level, y'all. It's like, go get a life, my dude. But no, so Buffy the Vampire Slayer is apparently coming back. It's in talks to come back. And I'm just going to read off some of this article here. The pilot is set to be written by Nora and Lila Zuckerman, the current showrunners for Ryan Johnson and Tasha Leone's Poker Face on Peacock.
Oh,
Those were the
Okay.
writers,
interesting.
the current
Okay.
showrunners for that show. So the current showrunners of Poker Face will be helming the revival.
Curious.
And Chloe Zhao will be directing it and executively producing it through Book of Shadows production company, which is her production company.
Mhm.
And Gail Berman and a no longer a secret Dolly Parton, as well as Fran and Kaz Kazooie, former notable for directing the criminally underrated Buffy the Vampire Slayer movie, are also looking to return. And also, I guess, needless to say, Sarah Michelle Gellar will be coming back. And I guess it's funny because a lot of people just read the headline. They're like, "Oh, it's coming back, and it's gonna be about a new Slayer," and da da da. And or they didn't want to have actual Buffy or Sarah Michelle Gellar come back as Buffy, but have her as a mentor role, which is what she's gonna have. She's gonna be the Giles of this take of this story.
She can still kick
And
ass.
the
Come
big
on.
Have you
the
seen her?
big
She's
well, of course,
fantastic.
I mean, in season 7 where we saw her training
Cowards.
like the next generation of Slayers, so like
Mhm.
it's already established in the quote unquote lore that people should be okay with. But one name has been notably not included because
Hmm.
of years of tyranny and also just like cool solidarity. Joss Whedon is not part of this revival series.
Bam, 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 bam.
Wonder
Oh,
why.
Charisma Carpenter came out
Sure.
and kind of took solidarity with Ray Fisher on the set of Justice League, as well as Gal Gadot, saying how kind of tyrannical Joss Whedon was and kind of like trying to humiliate as well as threaten people's careers. And Charisma Carpenter took to social media to explain her experiences on both Buffy as well as Angel, since her character Cordelia jumped on both. But it's one of those things where it's like, yes, people can speak up, but where are the quote unquote heavy hitters and the people who are actually supporting them? Sarah Michelle Gellar did also voice support for her cast members and say, like, under a lot of legal terms, she can't say what happens, but she's saying, I agree with everybody that has spoken out against the former showrunner. So like there is that. And I think there was a lot of stipulation, I think, for Sarah Michelle Gellar to come back to this very beloved series. It's, you could study in school. There was a course that I took in school that we focused a lot on Joss Whedon in particular, as well as the Buffy the Vampire Slayer show, because for television, that show was kind of a big deal. It was a kind of a big deal. I don't know exactly where it aired originally, but I know I started watching it when it was on FX. And FX is probably one of the premier network shows or network channels of all right now. It's probably right there next to HBO and AMC in terms of like best television. They're the ones that kind of sweep all the awards. So where is Buffy the Vampire Slayer sequel series, whatever they call it, gonna land and live? It's gonna live on Hulu. Also a
Cool.
provider of FX.
Okay.
So hopefully, it's never in good etiquette to wish terrible on a show, but hopefully they make a lot of good decisions. And I mean that on the inside
Make good decisions
for crew
and scene.
and
Or else.
Yeah, I mean, it's just one of those. Sometimes they get away with bad decisions, and then you won't hear about it for another 3 years. So, and also hopefully, um, in the state of things, the show will have some legs to stand on and capture some of the original audience as well as bring in a new audience, because that's really where it comes from, this baked in IP kind of landscape. But also, Buffy the Vampire Slayer ran for 7 seasons, and then Angel ran for, I think, 8 as well. So it's like
Wow.
the
Yep.
entire universe itself has a lot of feet to stand on. So we'll see if it can hold the test of time.
Hold the
Or to test your,
testicles.
that's
I mean, test
or
of time.
hold your, or test your patience.
but
All
yeah,
the
that
things.
that is all the news for me.
That's
We
the
got the
news.
next part.
That's the news. Now, the next part of the I'm trying to squeeze my head in the camera. That's not going to work. Hey, so it's the next part of the show in which we answer questions from you, the people. You can submit questions. Just join the Discord. Let's just make this
Yeah,
easy. Come on.
just do it.
Neuron.tv/Discord. There are
Come
channels
through.
there that you can submit, and it's just the easiest way to do it. Another cool thing that you could do is you could, keep our lights on, keep our ring lights on, and join the Nerd On Nation, powered by Patreon. And you get
Patreon.
early access to stuff that we're now actually starting to make content pretty regularly.
It's
Again,
fun.
so new episodes are coming, and other content is coming. So check it out for the lowest $1 a month. But you can I almost said you can answer questions like, you can ask questions like, there's lots of X's here, so I'm gonna go with Honey Bear.
Hey, honey.
Hey there. What has been your nerdy escape recently?
This is a repeat question, but it's also a good question.
Oh, the question.
Well, the
Um,
X's are on the.
No, I put it in there.
Oh, okay, cool.
Oh.
We answered it before, and I re-put it in there. I was like, that's a good question.
Oh.
I program.
Do you?
I do. I think about who's on the show, and I'm like, what questions would be good for us?
I already have mine, because it's kind of. I have been rewatching the entirety of all of the Walking Dead TV series. I finished the main show. I finished.
Is it over?
The main show is done. Fear the Walking Dead is done, but I started watching that. They have like their spin-offs going. So I watched Daryl Dixon. I watched Dead City. I watched The Ones Who Live. And now I'm watching Fear the Walking Dead, and I'm on like season 3, and I've been like, I don't know, man. There was at one point I was like, I just want to watch it. I like it, so I'm gonna watch it. And I started watching it, and I just, anytime I'm doing the pre-core, doing my cardio, I watch it. At night, I'm staying up way too late, not playing video games. I'm watching The Walking Dead. I don't know why. It's just like my fucking ADHD focus right now. I'm like, I need to watch this. So I'm watching until the end, and here we are. That's been my escape.
I like that. That one's a good one. I mean, now we're asking the question of like, is it like a right now escape? Because me and the cardboard are always best friends, and if you're questioning about cardboard, it's magic in my veins, baby.
I've been using.
It happens. I just acquired a set of the 90s binder a la Lisa Frank style secret lair for
Lisa
Magic
Frankenstein?
I got a new deck.
There's a deck and a deck box. No, it's not Lisa Frankenstein, but it literally looks like Lisa Frank art. It's really, really cute. But that's a long-term obsession. If we're
That's
talking
got
about
you for
something,
life.
yeah, it done messed me up. It done messed me up. If we're talking short, if we're talking short term or just recently started, um, to be brutally honest, I have just started, and everybody, feel free to boo me. I just started watching
Oh,
Ugly
by the way.
Betty. I just
Oh,
started
okay.
watching Ugly Betty,
Okay.
Why is
which
that? Why is that?
Is that a
boo?
CW show? I can't remember.
It was a CW show,
Yeah,
but it's
Bonnie
available in its
promoted it.
entirety. Yeah, it's available in its entirety on Netflix. I just started it. I'm having like America Ferrera everywhere because I also was watching Hentified, which was 2020 on Netflix. Two seasons. She executive produced. She also directed some of it. Like, I guess I'm in my extra little bit America Ferrera moments right now. I'm currently enjoying it, and then whenever I also was listening to the Infinity Train season 1 soundtrack in the car today, and I forgot how fantastic it is. So I was like, maybe I'll do another rewatch Infinity Train because
Nice.
I love supporting animation as a whole, and also listening. And I was telling Josh before we started today, listening to our episode that just dropped for the podcast on The Boy and the Heron.
Hell
Oh
yeah.
my gosh. It just got me so pumped. I got all the feels, all the chills. I'm like, you know what? I think I need some more animation in my life. I think just, what I'm intaking right now is not enough, and I need to rewatch some things.
I saw some
that's where I'm at.
Ghibli lands, like Ghibli designed lands for MTG, like basic lands. I was like, oh
Really?
man, these are kind of sexy. They're kind of pretty. Anyway,
I
It'd probably
have
be proxies.
I have proxy for tokens.
Okay.
One's a Thopter, and it is when Howl is flying Sophie on the little machine, and then there is a Phyrexian, and it's Calcifer, and I'm like, you're so cute.
I was like, I have Ghibli lands, but that's because Corey proxied them for me. I'm like,
they were. I was looking around on Etsy. I was just like, oh,
Yeah. Proxy baby, get them proxy.
They're very, very pretty.
And they're worth it.
What about you, Tom?
My nerdy escape recently. It says recently in the question. Listening to the question explains the question.
Yes.
Reading the card explains the card.
Look.
Okay. By the way, Amy, do you know that reference?
No, Professor, I don't.
Okay, because when I say that, I remember I said that to Josh. I'm like, he doesn't get that reference. I just sound like a dick. So I'm like,
okay.
I mean,
no, okay, because if you get the
the
reference,
fits.
it's really warming. But then if you don't get, you're like, Jesus Christ.
But sometimes you confuse a comma saying that you can do more than one thing with that being a period, and then you only do one thing. Like you can, return a land, a creature, and it's all commas, but you're like, I can return a land or a creature. So you mentally, just even reading it out loud helps. But yes.
But I love the in the social norm, everyone who's like, I'm a Yu-Gi-Oh player, I don't read. And I'm like, that's what's up. We out here, we just play the cards, baby. We just play the cards. But also, most LGSs, especially yours, Josh, the Legacy, they're like, we like Yu-Gi-Oh players because we play fast. Because we're just like, fucking go. And it's like, you know what's better than a good game? 2 games. So fucking hurry up. And I'm like, that's how I play, baby. That's how I fucking play. And I'm like, that's it, baby. Who cares if you win or lose, baby?
Swords of Revealing Light. We're stopping right now.
Face down trap cards, pot of grade, draw 2 cards, baby.
No.
Okay, so what's been my nerdy escape recently? I think it's the same answer I'm going to say when I first said it. It's like, again, I said to T-Dog in the green room before we went live, going to Palm Springs is like fine, and doing my job and like working in TV industry is fine and cool. Like I would love to be doing more bigger things and better things in my life, like in my career. But like I got so like, man, I want to go home and play Dead by Daylight because it was so it's honestly like it was like the best decompressing experience I've had in a long time. Just being like, I'm just gonna play this for 2 hours.
Put the belt on, and you were like, "Let's get it in my veins."
No, when I got home, I had to like fucking prep for like other days because it was like the studio, the shoot was coming in, and I was like, "Fuck!" I'm like, everything's gonna suck for me until like the end of next week. Like this is like just nonstop bullshit for so long, and I'm like, last night was my first night of playing, and I was just like, I don't give a shit for how long. I just got to get one game in. And then, bad reprint Brad was just like, man, I'll play with you. I was like, okay, thank God. I just want to feel some, other than just like oh, you have to prep for this. Oh, you have to prep for that. Oh, you have to prep for Actually, if it all goes through, I won't have a quiet time until the beginning of March, which is like fine, but it's just like, if you're not in the thing, you're prepping for the thing. So I'm constantly prepping for the next shoot. I'm prepping for the next hurdle that I need to be there and be on top of it all. And just like, cool. So it's like, and that's how I just operate. But yeah. Also, I've been watching Dr. Stone on Netflix. It's an anime. It's about how the world gets petrified, and then like the smartest kid in Japan, like kind of just like figures out how to like. Well, he cracks open after like 3,000 years, and he figures out how to like revive people, and like he sees civilization, and they're like, they're in the Stone Age. They're like, oh, we have we have spears and pickaxes and stuff like that, and then he's like, oh, well, I could introduce science to you guys, and then it's like him fast tracking futuristic Stone Age into the future of being like you see him like, cool, I'm gonna build sodium nitrate, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna like create salt and do all this other crap, and he's like, oh, what if if we can harness this, we can make a car. It's like it's really, really cool because it's like very factual, and it's just like there's a character that's in there that's like absolutely who I am, and I was like, oh my god, that's perfectly me. And he's like kind of supposed to be like a not bad guy, but he's the greediest motherfucker, but he's like, I want glory and I want to claim glory, but the glory is to make everyone else shine as brightly as they possibly can. And he's like, no challenge will ever beat me. And then like at some point, like some guy's like, oh, we want the prettiest girls, like not you. He's like, what are you talking about? All women are beautiful. I was like, what the fuck? Because he's like such a bullheaded guy, and I'm like, oh, he's like super like a good dude. But it's like quote unquote flaw is just that he's kind of greedy, and I'm like, and his greed is just like, I don't care about the money, I want the power, but there is no power if I don't elevate the rest of the world. And I was like, that's really cool. Dr. Stone. Anyways, next question.
Next question comes from, there's two for B-Rad. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's it.
Okay.
Well, let's do one for B-Rad, but which one you want to choose?
Let's do what's a movie that always puts you in a funk but you keep coming back to? Terry Gilliam's Brazil is great and even silly, but it makes me feel terrible every time I watch it.
I got
it's
one.
Bonnie's favorite movie. Yes.
So the one that gives me the funk, I love it, but I'm like, this sucks. Me Before You. It has, oh Lord,
is that Emilia Clarke and Sam Claflin?
Yeah, based on a book. It's based on actually a series of books, but the whole concept is Emilia Clarke is just happy-go-lucky, wonderful human, but she kind of feels like she's stuck. Essentially, she's not progressing anywhere with her career. She's kind of stuck in their village in Scotland, and then she gets hired to be not a companion, but like an aide, but not an aide. Basically, she's supposed to sit there with Sam, and I can never pronounce his last name just because I don't try. And he's been paralyzed from essentially the neck down after a freak accident. And he was like the everyman, and he could do everything. And it's this slowly budding romance type of thing where her infectious optimism just kind of invigorates him, but he's already decided he doesn't want to. Yeah, he just doesn't want. He doesn't want to suffer, and so literally at the end of it, he's like resolute in what's going to happen. He already knows what's going to happen. He had 6 months, and it's like the 6 months that she spent with him in this whole thing. And I'm like, and it's not even the tears because she's so effervescent. She's so wonderful, and it's so freaking happy. Oh, and her boyfriend is the kid who played Neville in Harry Potter, like in this movie, which is even funnier. And he's like
Matthew
not
Lewis.
and he's not an actual good person in this movie. Like he's like meh. So I watch it, but it puts me in a funk where I'm just like, well, you lived, you loved, and I mean, he left you a whole bunch of money so you could do something and live, and now you're just haunted forever that you got money from somebody who you loved but could never actually be with, and now you're kind of trapped with them in your head, trying to live a life that would make you worthy of them, but you never actually succeed. So no. So good, but so terrible.
Josh?
I have to keep thinking because I don't know if I have one except for like I can give a movie that just makes me cry every single time. But you go and I'll keep thinking and
Movie that
Moab
puts
Robot?
me in a funk, but I keep coming back for more, baby. Let me think. I'd have to say, oh, that's a good question because it is like one of those you are a glutton for punishment kind of things. And there are movies that do make you emotional, but is there a movie that's like actually puts you out of your way, but like you know that it's good? Um, ooh, man, I'm like, like I'm getting close into the brain space of like, ooh, I'm in that space. I know what that feels like. Um, I wouldn't say I keep coming back to it, but like it is good. Um, is probably um Parasite,
oh.
because that does
Ooh.
make you feel like
Ooh, that
shit,
puts
and it's
ooh,
like not a good feel good. It's not a feel
no.
good movie, but like you like, oh my god, this is so good. I'm trying to think of like other ones that I'm like these are also in that category. Um, I mean, obviously same director, Snowpiercer.
Oh,
Um,
God,
also
Snowpiercer.
really terrible time, and it's like has a bad thing. I mean, Nightcrawler is also one of those. Because it's just shitty people being shitty at all costs. But it's good. No, that one makes me feel that one's actually pretty okay because it's like a good guy wins. I'm trying to think of like where the bad guy kind of wins, but it's kind of like but like it's good. Um hmm. No, I love that movie, even though the bad guy does win. Is Silence of the Lambs.
Yeah.
Um, love that movie.
But that also feels kinda like a good resolution in a way where
Yeah, it
you're
does,
like,
because Starling, she handles it. She takes
yeah,
care of business. Um,
Uh, I mean, I
it's
don't
a
have
hard one.
I can't think of a movie that puts me in a funk. I can think of a movie that like guts me every time I watch it. And what's funny is it's an Amelia Clark movie. It's
hold
No.
on,
like,
hold on. It's an Amelia Clark movie. Am I gonna get it? I don't think I can get it. It's not Last Christmas.
it is.
Oh, dang. That's
I
no,
like
I
I
am
I
the
only
framed
watched that
man.
once. I only watched that once, and I was just like, I'm good. Thank you.
Yeah,
I'm good.
wait, it's become a very strange like we always watch Love Actually Christmas.
Mhm.
It's not a good movie, but it's like it's
Nope.
just we watch it. It does not stand the test of time, but we watch it. The Holiday, not a good movie. It's cute.
Aw,
It's
it's
adorable.
cute. I like
Not a
that
good
one.
movie. Last Christmas we watch almost every year, and it's just like, and I forget every single time. I forget the twists every single time, and when it gets there, I fucking bawl. I am just like, oh, and she doesn't get the guy. Like, it just and emotions.
Did I say that I never watched it?
You haven't watched it?
I've never
It's
Okay.
watched
cute.
it. I was supposed to watch it. And I think COVID happened, and I didn't get a chance to watch it.
It's but I will watch it again and again because it's adorable. Like it's actually legitimate. Like you're like at the end of it, you're like, oh my god. Like there's character
Right?
growth and there's like, and it's like it hits you with something and you're like, oh my god.
I see, like, that's the reason I like Me Before You. It's the same thing where you have character growth and it moves perfectly.
About Time is another one that you're
Uh,
like,
uh,
My favorite review I've ever gotten about that movie was from a friend. He said, I went to go watch it on a plane, and then it fucking for no reason made me cry.
yeah.
I was just like, it's so good. It's like, oh, this is nice. What the hell, man? It's just like, but it's like all good reasons. Like it's
Yeah.
good humanistic reasons.
yeah.
I'll also one, and it's not like because it's heartfelt. Identity, John Cusack horror
Oh,
film.
good
The
movie.
homie that's playing the new Jonathan Kent is in there.
Mhm.
Amanda Peet, I believe, is in there. Ray Liotta is in that movie. It's a horror movie. It ends really fucked up, and to me, it's like this is so sad. It's so fucked. But I'm like, that's a good movie, baby. We got
Get it.
time. We could do one last question.
One
Can
last
we do
question.
Turgis is in the chat?
Yeah, it's in the sheet that Josh is looking at.
Yeah. Okay. So we're here's to you, Turgis. Here's your question. What shows did you love at the start, but then couldn't finish because it became unwatchable?
The Walking Dead. Fuck at you.
Actually, I was gonna say Fear of the Walking Dead. At
Damn.
one point, I was just like, ugh. But it was
Really?
kind of it was a little column A, column B. It was like we stopped. We lost access to AMC, and so it just was kind of natural. But there was a little bit like, I'm invested, I'm here, but like middle
They're
seasons
queer,
it
and
starts.
I'm here for it.
Yeah, you get it. Middle seasons, you start kind of your eye starts twitching of like. There was one character that just died that I was just like so happy that they died. I was just like, please stop talking. I'm so tired of you. Please shut up.
That
Stop
hurt,
it.
Glenn. That meant a lot to me.
No,
Oh my gosh.
Fear the Walking Dead, not Walking Dead. Fear the Walking Dead. I was just like, he died. This character died, and I was just like, thank Christ, thank Christ.
And then he ended up
Thank-
becoming the Punisher later. Okay.
No, it wasn't even that. You're thinking about the Walking Dead, not Fear
I'm
the
kidding.
Walking Dead.
I'm kidding.
Dum, dum, dum.
I just like the part where Glenn's wife ends up dating the guy that killed him.
I mean,
Kidding.
yeah,
I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
totes. But who doesn't have a crush
Um,
on Jeffrey D. Morgan? I mean, come on now.
I mean, yeah, that
This
actually.
poor
is
ugly
the
man.
question.
Poor
The
poor
comedian. Come on, man.
Yeah.
We could have had him. We could have had Thomas Wayne.
That was-
We could have had it,
that
but
was-
everyone wanted more fucking jokes.
That was
and
pre-weight
stupid,
loss.
vapid storylines. Anyways, Amy, do you have one?
I have two.
Hell yeah.
Okay.
It says
So-
what shows, so
So, first one, I should preface with I love Brian Fuller. And so Heroes, that first season was golden. You started
Mm.
rolling to that second one. It tanked like a hot rock. And Brian Fuller was no longer working on that show. So I know exactly what do. Like like whenever I had even tried to watch it to where, if you haven't seen Heroes, surprise, Hero got stuck inside of a castle on the internet. Like that's how they were keeping him in there. Like it, I don't know. I give up. And then my second one, hysterically enough, was Smallville. I was
Okay.
a
Somebody say. I'm sorry. huh?
me.
I never
yes,
watched it. Too
No.
much. Too much. I don't like it when my Superman looks like Jesus. You have him crucified. I don't like it. I think it's bad. He should be
Oh
like
my
Moses
God.
instead.
Yeah. What? But yeah, so I tried to go through most of it, and I just remember falling off somewhere as soon as they introduced Oliver, and I was like, I don't know what's happening anymore,
Alan
guys.
Richardson? No, that's not Alan Richardson. That was the other guy.
Yeah, but I was just like, and then I tried to pick it up later, and he was in Metropolis, but not in Metropolis, and had been introduced to Red Kryptonite, and I was like, y'all don't know where you are. Like, okay, guys, it's time to come home. Like, it's okay. You wanted to tell a story about what happened before he got to, Metropolis, before he was Clark Kent of the Daily Planet. But it's just, no, I couldn't, and I try. I swear, I actively do try, and just no. But yeah, Heroes.
I try.
I try. I try. I do the best. Like, no joke, I have tried aggressively to get through the first season of Arrow, and I can't. Yes, we're almost to that point, Josh. I just can't. Everyone's like,
Clockwork
it's great after.
oranging it, going, no, please stop. Please
Well, I'm gonna say
stop
this,
it."
and this is to chagrin of so many young boys out there.
Good thing I'm
The
not a young
inclusion
boy.
of Thea was the worst thing in the world. I'm like it's such a, they just don't write her well, and I'm like, you make her so annoying, and all the dudes were like, she's so hot. That I was like, but she doesn't do anything to the plot. Like, she doesn't do anything for the character. She's just annoying. She just makes Oliver be like, Thea, I told you not to do dangerous shit. I'm like, oh my God, who gives a fuck? Just give her a show. She could do her own shit. Sorry.
Yeah, I try, but some of those, but yeah, Heroes, it was the very first one. I'm glad somebody else agrees with me, because like that puppy tanked like a hot rock. Like we had this pushing. Yeah, and then I had Pushing Daisies. Pushing Daisies was doing good, and then we had the strike, and
You know, with Smallville, I used to have a big crush on Allison Mack, and then turns out she's 50 Shades of Cray Cray.
yeah.
Yeah. How about a show that I couldn't watch because it became unwatchable? There's a show I want to say. I will not say it.
Why?
Why not?
Because I know people who worked on it, and I don't want to say it.
You could just send it to us, and then we could just be like, we don't know where this came from, but I remember this show that I don't know.
But a show that I watched that became unwatchable. I mean, I never finished Veronica Mars.
Okay.
I
get it.
Because I just like, it's like, just get over it. Just hurry up, man. Just like, I don't like where, like, I need you to either solve the mystery or not. Like, taking 7 episodes to solve one mystery takes too fucking long.
I need you to do your job, Veronica.
And then, like, because at least, like, Monk, right? Because it's like,
job.
oh, my wife. And then it's like, oh, but there's crime. There's crime every day. And I'm like, cool, go fucking solve those things while we figure out your wife thing. But then here's like, who's this person who's messaging people? I'm like, oh, who gives a shit? Who cares? Who cares? I mean, all the Arrowverse stuff I stopped watching at a certain point. I stopped watching Walking Dead after the homie who looked like me died. I stopped watching Arrow when, like, the crossovers were just like, okay, on Monday it's Arrow, on Tuesday it's The Flash, on Wednesdays Legends of Tomorrow, on Thursdays it's Supergirl. I'm like, holy fuck.
Now the CW is
which is
unrecognizable.
Cool. And then it was just like, no one likes Grant Gustin's Flash suit, so we're changing it again. It's from leather. Now he's got the chin. Now he doesn't have the chin. Now it's like, oh my, I don't give a fuck.
We have to please everyone.
And it's like, we're gonna make Marcos cry in every episode because he's just a sad one. Like, stop, just suck it up, man.
He's a sad boy.
You're fighting crime.
Oh.
Supergirl. I loved Supergirl. I fucking really liked Supergirl so much, and I loved how it was just always like, I don't know what my cousin would do. It's like, what would Supergirl do? It's like, fuck yeah. And then like her sister shit, and then the fucking like with Martian Manhunter, I'm like, oh, this plays. And then all the crossover just getting too much.
Supergirl poster.
Other way. Oh, there you go. Never got into the Batwoman. I hear Lois Superman and Lois is great. So I might watch that.
Like, I've seen some scenes and I'm like, oh damn.
Apparently, it's just like the perfect amalgamation of everything, and it like has an original theme.
It was the last show to live on the CW.
Yeah, and it's like it's an original. Like, hey, we have never seen this version of Superman, so I'm like, yeah, that sounds cool. I'm here for that. Other shows that have just become unwatchable. I mean, The West Wing before season 5, when Eric Sorkin pieced out. But okay, I'm gonna end it there because we can go on all night. That's it.
You look for somebody to raid. I'm gonna do the stuff at the end. Oh, I had an idea for content. We could do like tabletop ASMR, like and like
you
different.
You can go and shoot that.
Breaking.
You can go and upload.
Seriously, I feel like if we did one, it'd be too funny. Breaking packs. Oh my gosh. Anyway, everybody, thank you so much for hanging out with us and putting up with our shenanigans. We are going to raid somebody soon. Check out our website, nerdon.tv. The best place that you can check out is our YouTube, nerdon.tv/YouTube. And here on Twitch, we do stuff here and there. And check out our Patreon, nerdon.tv/Patreon. Join the Nerdon Nation. Help us. Join us. Really, that's what I think it is. When somebody joins the Patreon, I feel like you are joining us. And it's as little as $1 a month, and you get early access and all that kind of stuff. It's awesome. It's so cool, and there's so many cool people. But that's that. Let me find.
We
the button
are
that I
going
need
to be
press.
rating over to Wisa Allen, who is a stand-up comedian, and she is making a Iron Blood Orphans Gundam Barbados model.
Hell
And
yeah.
I built that
Dang.
model, so I applaud her. And yeah,
Hell yeah.
she plays Elden Ring.
I love it. Yeah, but you know the drill. As always, nerd on.
Nerd on.
Nerd on.